Good morning, everyone present here. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you all to this webinar on preserving forest, protecting livelihood, a sustainable vision, hosted by AABN. This is the 195th weekly webinar organized by AABN. I take this opportunity to express my deep appreciation to you all for honoring us by being here. It is gratifying to note that the agenda of today's webinar covers a wide range of future relevant topics, and we have in our midst our distinguished speaker to share her experience in specific area of specialty. I extend a very warm welcome to Dr. Claribel Ezekiel for coming here and willing to impart her expertise to our community. Welcome to you all for responding to our call and being here. The 21st century has seen a surge in government strategic protection of forests for good reason. Forest protection enhances people's life while slowing climate change by enabling trees, soil, and grasslands to perform their natural functions of removing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. In 2022, global deforestation reached 16.3 billion acres, with primary tropical forest loss at 10.1 billion acres. An alarming 96% of this takes place in tropical regions. Tropical Asia is the only region close to achieving zero deforestation. Without urgent action, tropical forests will begin to act as a carbon source, not a sink, under the pressures of a warning, drying, and increasingly extreme climate. Widespread and increasing deforestation and degradation in the planet's three largest tropical forest basins could deliver a global climate catastrophe. Fortunately, there's still time to halt deforestation and sustainably manage and restore forests in ways that benefit people and nature. If we are serious about ensuring a future for forests and halting the biodiversity and climate crisis, time is of the essence. While the numbers are stark, we know what we need to do. In today's webinar, our eminent guest speaker, Dr. Claribel, environmental and social management expert, Nippon Koi India, will share her views and perspectives on preserving forests, protecting livelihood, a sustainable vision. I have the pleasant duty of introducing and welcoming her to this interactive business networking session. Dr. Claribel has over 20 plus years of experience in leading projects for organizations such as UNICEF, UNDP, and the Tamil Nadu Water Investment Company. Her work has spanned across various sectors, including water resource management, disaster risk reduction, tribal development, and mental health policy for children and adolescents. She is interested in designing and implementing frameworks, guidelines, and training programs aimed at improving environmental and social outcomes. Infrastructure development is highly essential for the development of Tamil Nadu. As environmental and social management expert, she has worked in various projects like Chennai Peripheral Ring Road project. She has dealt with resettlement and rehabilitation of the villages based on the World Bank's guidelines. In 150 MLD desalination plant, she worked as a social management expert where she dealt with the local fishermen community in their capacity building. She has made amendment in the livelihood restoration plan, worked in a CBDRM project of the World Bank as social development expert for Tamil Nadu. She gained extensive experience of dealing with the local communities and the livelihoods. She will ensure the successful implementation and operational excellence of the project. Her support will include overseeing day-to-day operations. This will include develop a blueprint for the project delivery, clearly spelling out plans and timelines and expert engagements for achieving project development objective. She works closely with team members, stakeholders, and partners to maintain effective communication, address challenges promptly, and implement best practices to achieve our objectives. Dr. Claribel has a bachelor's degree in botany from the Stella Maris College and pursued a master's degree in botany from Madras Christian College. She later completed a PhD in social anthropology in 2002. She is an environment and social management expert. Before I wind up, let me once again extend a warm welcome to all and reiterate that the AABN doors are always open to those who might want to strengthen our work with the suggestions. I also wish to place on record a deep commitment to work tirelessly as a team to carry forward our goals in a constructive, gratifying way. We also take this opportunity to thank Mr. Suresh Maria Sulam for his support to connect us with Dr. Claribel. Thank you, and over to you, Dr. Claribel.
Good morning, everyone.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, thank you for your introduction. It was very nice. Uh, Today, I'm going to deal about preserving forests, protecting livelihoods, which I consider as a sustainable vision for the entire region. I'm concentrating more on the Tamil Nadu, basically because I stay in Tamil Nadu. So I look forward AABN to support me in this study, whatever I'm doing right now. So, uh, everybody knows that uh, the community who lives in the forest, they are the stewards who protects the forest. They are the tribal people whom I was working with, for more than 2 decades. So they are the people who have been protecting the forest from degradation. They have they possess a lot of traditional knowledge, like medicinal knowledge, and how to grow above the trees. They also know about the human animal conflicts, lot of things they know. And also they know the conservation efforts, whatever they have to do while protecting the forest. So though they belong to, by protecting the forest, they most of the time the livelihoods whatever they are doing, it's slowly going down day by day. The forest resources uh, are also diminishing. Because of that, their livelihoods is also going down. uh, they do collect a lot of medicinal plants, and they do sell it up, but not much of profit they could come up with. So what they do is, like, the tribal people, they they go to other states for work as a agriculture laborer, or they have sought out various professions, so that they can earn their livelihood. Of course that is necessary, but they are losing their traditional knowledge. The youngsters especially, they have, most of the youngsters, they have lost their traditional knowledge. So maintaining their traditional knowledge and bringing them up, and they shouldn't lose their traditional knowledge. They also have to come up with earnings, good earnings, so that they stay in the forest, protect the forest. uh, they should also earn quite a good amount from the from staying in the forest. What the Tamil Nadu government has done is, they have come up with various plans, like ecotourism, eco development plans, so that the tribes inside the forest can have a good earning resource, so that can be sustainable for them. So though they collect the non timber forest products from the forest, the ecotourism development has come up with, it is in the still in the minimal stage. uh, I'll show you a few more slides where I have visited. uh, these ecotourism sites can bring about earnings to the community, and also they can have a benefit sharing out of that. So we have come up with a community-based ecotourism that could cover overall development of the community through sustainable management practices, by preserving their cultural values, preserving the natural resources, preserving their traditional and heritage values. All these activities are carried out by the community and will be shared among the community. By integrating ecotourism as well as the cultural and heritage exposure, it can enhance the conservation, and it can promote the cultural awareness among the uh, common people as well as the tribal people. Uh, be by bring Forest communities as such, they face a lot of challenges due to deforestation, climate change, poverty, because of the marginalization and economic opportunities. So because of the default they lose the trees, the climate change impact, lot of rains, and they do not have proper structures to get, to catch the catchment areas, like mm, check dams and all that they are losing. So there is a lot of run of water, and they also face poverty, because the forest community whomever I have dealt in the past 6 or 7 months, they face severe poverty. Like a few pockets I visited, there what they do is, uh, they grow the tapioca for the sago industries. uh, what they do is to have the saplings of the sago, to buy the sago uh, saplings. They go to an outsider, they get huge sum of loan from them, by paying interest, and then they come and they plant for about, once these saplings grow up, these people like lead a nomadic kind of life for the first 6 months. After planting this tapioca, they move away from their settlement. They go to other states like Kerala, Karnataka, and all those areas. They work there, they toil as agricultural laborers. They return after 6 months, after earning, and as soon as they come, the tapioca, whatever the saplings they have planted, they grow to a required size for their sago industries. So the middlemen, what they do is they get the sago tapioca plants from them for a very minimal amount, and these people, they end up paying the whatever they have earned in the uh, other states. They come and pay this amount to the person whom they have taken the loan, and then what they do is, like with the interest they pay, and they finally end up with nothing. So this is the routine life cycle which is going on there. So when I went with the forest department, the forest department has taken a good initiative, like forming groups, and they have lot of resources, like fruit trees, and they also have lot of millets that grow there. So after my intervention with the forest district forest officer and all of them, we have come up with certain plans that I will be discussing with you. So uh, so I have also come up with the help of another uh, colleague of mine, and who is also uh, an ex dean of Annamalai University. We have come up with integrated farming. I think he is also there in the forum right now. So we have come up with, though they are since they are having a small area, about 1 or 2 acres, up to 5 acres they have. So we have come up with the technology called integrated farming, which is very common, and now the government of Tamil Nadu is also supporting uh, the integrated farming, and which is not many forest areas have been covered with this integrated farming. And for goats, it is strictly no for goats, because they will destroy the forest area, since these people stay very close to the reserve forest areas. So the other cattle, poultry and piggery can be grown there, and apart from that, agriculture. So we have to find out some people who can actually take up, along with the help of the forest department, who can come up with some plans to take up a small pocket as a pilot study, so that the other districts can also look into this, and they can come up with such plans of having the integrated farming uh, in a in a place. So these people can be trained, and so that they can adopt the integrated farming, because it plays an important role to mitigate the climate change. So, and also Disaster preparedness has to be given to them, they are given training to them to cope up with extreme weather events. They also have uh, they also face uh, severe water scarcity. Though it rains there, they do not have any check dam kind of facility, though they do not have wells. So whenever I visit the districts, whenever I visit the districts, they say there is no proper water facility, drinking water facility for them. So the first thing is they ask the forest department is to construct either overhead tank for them or to dig up the well. Now forest department has also come up with a very small, since they are lacking funds, they have a small amount to construct check dams for them where there is a lot of runaway water for them, and so that they can have a small catchment area for their livelihood, where they can grow their millets. So these kind of alternative methods are being done by the forest department. I also visited a place in Tirunelveli district called Mailar. Uh, it was a very tough terrain when I visited. There I saw the Khani tribe, who is having a huge amount of resource, forest resource. They do pretty well with the help of a CSR activity, where the present collector has come up with, by giving them an organic certification for their producers, and uh, and also they are now, with the help of the CSR activity from Bosch, Bosch has given them a small van for them to travel from Mylar to other places where they can have a small outlet, like canteen like outlet, where they can sell their produce. Also they can fry some omelette, or a small kind of cooking from the nature, whatever natural resources they are getting. And they also sell uh, their produce, like pepper. They have star fruit.
Meeting attend.
Yeah. uh, and also they have been trained with various basket weaving and all those things. These people, along with Bosch, which is a CSR activity, they are supporting quite good this knowledge. This CSR activity, I think a lot of companies has to come up, so that the forest resources can be protected, as well as the livelihoods can be uh, increased. So they also need capacity building in a lot of ways, by training them in with their local produce. How can they build up the livelihood from the produce whatever they are having, their medicinal plants, so that they can market the medicinal plants. uh, like for example, when I visited an area near Virupuram, Kallakurichi, they are selling the pepper which is organically grown, 1 kilo for as far as 500 per kilo. And whereas when we are buying, it is more than 700 to 1000 rupees per kilo. So these are organically produced pepper, uh, where we can intervene and help them to get uh, some more money out of the produce. So I've also asked them to grow tipuli and a lot of pineapples they are growing, butterfruits they are growing, so many things, which is being grown organically. We must try to get them some kind of an organic certification for them, so that this can be marketed. They lack knowledge in marketing. The first thing they are asking is to give them training on capacity building on marketing, and also online marketing. They are quite interested. Most of the youth who are educated. They are, some are engineering graduates, some are they have the basic graduation, normal graduation. What they do is, all they know is uh, to have motor vehicle licensing. that is the common capacity building the forest department is giving them. This is not necessary. This is, of course, necessary. Motor skills is necessary, but it is not going to provide them with a good livelihood earnings for them. So they should stay in the forest, produce lot of organic materials uh, for the common people to buy, and the marketing skills, online marketing skills, and developing a lot of things like poha laval, uh, giving them trainings in solar dehydration. All these things can improve their livelihoods. And so of course, a lot of technology wise is also essential by satellite mapping, drone technologies, and mobile applications. These people are quite interested, and Mylar in Tirunelveli, they are actually Bosch has trained them with the online technologies like this, and they are able to monitor their plant growth, and the animal movements and all that by satellite mapping. So all these things can be, these people along with the forest department can be trained. So what I'm looking forward from AABN group is to collaborate with the forest department, uh, for their sustainability of the forest people, so that the forest people can develop their livelihoods, and they can have a sustainable uh, livelihoods. And there are different dimensions of sustainability. Though we respect their local community, many people, they avoid the tribal, and they show the samnastic movements, and also uh, they do not, many people from the upper class, they do not respect the local communities at all. These people are being neglected as such. But these people actually they are very loving, and many people have to come up in supporting their livelihoods. uh, their cultural heritage has to be protected, especially many of the forest, they have these people livelihoods, and are linked with their cultural and spiritual values. They have sacred groves where they perform a lot of uh, uh, say the sacred groves are protected because of their cultural nature, and whatever they many people come and visit the sacred groves, but uh, it has to be protected. And the awareness has to be increased by educating the people, and also by uh, building the responsibility of those people as well as the outsiders. Whoever visit the forest has to be looked into by promoting their livelihoods, and as well as the sustainability of the forest areas. Forest department as such, they come into forest department has come up with financing small amounts of money by forming groups. uh, Many groups, whoever lives in the nearby the forest areas or the reserve forest, they form as a cluster by promoting their businesses. Like in one group, they have one group have their pottery skills, where they have developed the pottery skills by giving them the training. Many people have joined formed as many women especially, they have formed groups and clusters by promoting their pottery skills, and they are selling it to people. And these people, they are also asking for online training, so that they can promote their pottery works to other people. It can reach, so that it can reach a mass people outside their region. uh, and many people have also started earning uh, by having a small field. They produce traditional rice varieties, millets and all that. Millets are also uh, they are grown, but the middlemen have taken they take the millets for a very low pricing. It is being carried out to other states, and they are pounded and made into flattened. They are beaten, and flattened rice are produced, and those flattened rice are extensively sold on online uh, for a huge sum of money. So the pounding machine, if this can be given to the tribal people, these people can pound their own produce, and they can have a small shanty like structures out down the hill, or some kind of a outlet, such as eco shops, uh, where they can sell their produce to other people. These pounded rice is now a great hit among the public who are living in the cities. Uh, so these things can be done by themselves rather than selling their produce for a very low price. So all these things, I look into the AABN to help these people by bringing them into uh, one fold. At least one person can one person can take up a pilot's area, so that the training can be given to them and help them to be more sustainable. uh, and by integrating multiple activities, like the when I spoke about the integrated farming, it can bring year round activity for in terms of agriculture. And the tribals are also being apiary training is also being given. Animal husbandry and fisheries, uh, and value additions can be given to them, because these things are lacking. And among the tribal people whomever I visited, value addition also proves makes the more sustainable livelihood, and also it is economically beneficial. When they form clusters, their benefit sharing can be done among the clusters. So whatever the produce they get, it can be shared among themselves. So value addition, like poha and whatever the produce, whatever they have, can be done. They also have social benefits among these by producing various fruits and vegetables, uh, like fruits especially. Jackfruit, mangoes are all produced organically. Jackfruits are produced in so much quantities that they are not even taken care of. It is just thrown into the forest, it just decays and goes off. So these fruits can be preserved, and they can be dehydrated and can be sold to other public. So this can also bring about food security and nutrition, which is a part of social benefit for them. And this also can bring about an employment generation among the forest people. uh, so apart from these, when I traveled all over these areas, I found a lot of bamboos growing there. So these bamboos can be taken up, and create they can make souvenirs, and they can come up with lot of bamboo artifacts, and they can be sold to the common people, which can also bring about be- earning source for them. And also the the process of using bamboo and uh, and their artifacts they have to be given training for them, so that they can use these forest produce in their livelihood. So a lot of agrotourism uh, have forest department has come up with agrotourism, like they can they have come up with they have place like eco state place, they can where they can use these people for their cooking, and for the local food, and they can also come up with adventure tourism. They have come up with in Gudalur, uh, they have adventure tourism, and all these can be integrated and they can form a package, so that these people can be benefited. Especially the forest, the youth can be trained as uh, they can come up with as a eco guide for to showcase all whatever they are growing there, and whatever eco shops, they can become a guide there. So these people have to be trained in those kind of uh, activities to promote their livelihood and to bring about the sustainability. So forest department has also have come up with eco huts in certain places, like in the I have showed in slide 20. uh, they have come up with eco huts. These are the places where they have eco huts. Inside 20 you can see a lot of development has taken place for them to eat for they have come up with ecotourism sites. The first slide, the first picture, where a woman is sitting, this is in Kallakurchi area. The second one is the dam, the waterfall area, Beeman waterfalls, and the third one is again the uh, place boating area, and the fourth, the top picture is shows the uh, ecotourism eco hut. It's a good area, but they have to have still people have not visited. Most of the people do not come here because of the accessibility. So I have also given suggestions to maintain a good accessibility so that the public can go there and visit during the holidays. And all these Beeman waterfalls and the play area, everything, they do collect a small amount of fees, and which is very helpful for the forest department to maintain the structures. The fee is very minimal. So, and also they can further develop into butterfly gardens, and night tourism, etc., can be developed, and so that these people can uh, earn a sustainable livelihood. Apart from this, the forest department is also looking for uh, other digitalization of all these places, so that virtual tours can be done, and all these they are having plans to develop these areas uh, further to make them more sustainable, so that the forest areas can be protected, as well as can be a livelihood option can be given to the people. So uh, and all these things fall under the uh, yes, yes, hello, all these things fall under the sustainable development goals formed by the United Nations. So I look forward, for further discussions with AABN. Thank you very much. Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we
Yes.
can. Yes, we can.
I
We
was, I
can.
was hoping someone would respond. Gopi sir, is there generally, do we have a Q&A types?
Yes, yes, we
Do we
can.
have time
We
for
can.
discussion?
Yes, yes, we can. We can. Go
Yeah,
on. Go on.
you can go ahead with the discussion.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, good
Okay.
morning, everyone. Gopi, good morning. Muthukumar here.
Hi, sir. Good morning, sir.
Hey, it's a great presentation. Thank you very much. Just wanted to share something very important, and it may look a little controversial, so I apologize for that. But my experience is that, madam, I have worked in oil and gas, and I have worked in forests across the world, very
Okay.
deep forest in extraordinary tribal areas. In,
Mm.
for example, not only in Tamil Nadu, but in several places in Andhra, Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, several states of the Northeast, and Bangladesh, in Kenya, in Nigeria, in Ghana, Angola, and some of the places in Russian Federation, where mountainous, not very big forests, but mountainous areas of fauna and flora. I've seen tribes during the process, because when we do this, we have to ensure that restoration of the forest self-sustenance is very important. And one thing, my personal experience, I'm not a reformer, I'm not a activist for forest development. I'm a businessman, right? I was a project leader. I was leading the top oil and gas management. So I can't tell myself as an activist or to the betterment of the tribal. So I don't say like that. But based on my experience, when we are signing a community engagement agreements with the tribal people and population all over the world, one thing I realized that fundamentally our approach to the tribal population is incorrect. Mainly because none of the tribes, whatever see, they do not want to come into the civilized world. They're not fit for this disciplined work. When you mentioned about the pottery and learning, they're mentally not ready for it. Like in the cities and towns, our children are slaves actually, whether we like it or not. Our children are slaves in a school. They can't ask questions. They can't do. They are stuck in a class. They're stuck in exams. They're stuck for getting marks. Our children are slaves in our schools in the cities and civilization, but they are independent. They are fierce horses, actually. They do not like to sit in one place, learn something, and earn money out of it. Money is secondary for them. They actually treat, I have seen personally, they treat every resource, whether it's a fauna, flora, or a plant, or a river, or a water, anything like a resource that they see everything like gods, like how our Vedic ancestors have seen. Everything is a god for them. They treat it like a, they don't see it as a resource, as a money making resource. They don't want to make money out of it. They just want a simple life out of it. All the time, when people offer them, they don't see like this. And what we are doing we are trying to bring them to civilized world, and they fail on that. That is why the total failure of the system. The whole approach is not correct, because we are trying to convert them into civilized world the way we think, sitting from the cities, right? And city people have never seen that. None of us, for example, you're asking, talking. I'm just telling very openly and honestly, right? Because you are an activist to understand from the perspective what I have seen is that we are the city people. Talked to a lot of people. They never seen a forest in their lifetime. They never lived for in a forest for even a day or two. But we live in our closed concrete walls, and we think our life of going to malls is a much better life than they have. In fact, they are much more healthier life, and we are different thing, and we try to convert them. My suggestion to you, if it is acceptable to you, I was sounding controversial, I know, but based on experience, my suggestions working with them is that we have to first of all understand their expectations, give them opportunity to self-sustain the forest. See, what we are trying to do, madam, is, to be very frank, we want to convert the forestry into business development, to create modernization, destroy the forest, and build resorts and everything out. So we kind of convert their mind to accept our way of life. That's what we are doing. That's the fundamental. We are not trying to really restore their life and value. We are trying to convert them and make them happy with some small amount of money and some training and forget their life. Instead of that, what is important is, while technology development growth cannot be stopped, we have to really do things. We have the deforestation is important. I agree on that. There's no denial on that. But it's important that the way the government or the forest department, everybody has to look at it. What I've seen all over the world, not just in Tamil Nadu, is that you have to
Yeah, is it just me or did we all lose him?
No, no. Yeah, we have lost him. We have lost him.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
looks like we've lost him just about
Yeah, I just
the
came
right
back
time.
now. Is it okay to continue, or I'm taking too
Yeah,
much
please
time,
continue.
Gopi?
Yeah, please,
No,
please,
you
please
can
continue.
please continue.
Fast.
Yeah, so what my suggestion, ma'am, is based on my experience only.
Yeah.
In fact, I was going to write a paper on that some time back. I'm myself a writer, but I did not do it. But best is to kind of coordinate with them, understand the requirements, allow them to self-sustain a small part of their life where we do not have to expand or deforest anything, instead of bringing them to civilized world. They're much more happier with that. They're much more comfortable with doing their point of life, and if you respect them. One thing I learned from the women of one time, I give a small example. We were driving to a very deep forest area to find seismic data for oil and gas. And we went into a very deep forest area. Those women and the tribal people had never seen their four-wheeler at all in their lifetime. First time we are sending a big bulldozer to remove the trees to make a small path our jeep to go, and they never seen a bulldozer, a four-wheel driver. The maximum they have seen is a cycle somewhere when people brought in. That's kind of a deep thing. They never seen light in their life. There's no electricity. They live like that. When we talked to them, the language was a little difficult. We had an interpreter and all this. We were talking to them. The only thing their old expectation for them is that they live a very comfortable, happy life. The people are from the town. They gone there with the movies and projectors and everything out, generators, showed them movies, modern life and all these things, but they completely not interested. They want to live their life, and I can tell you differently offline. We can discuss a lot about examples. I met people in Arunachal Pradesh. I met people in Kenya, for example, in the very deep forest of Kenya, and the deep forest in Nigeria and other places, and their expectations are completely different. And they only ask us one thing: respect us, leave us the way we are living. We don't want to come to your civilized world. And that is the same thing I think I heard Thoders of Nilgiris talked to some of the reporters here. The same thing happened in Andaman tribals actually, where they are forced out of their lifestyle. And my request suggestion is please consider. I'm happy to discuss offline. Maybe you are an activist, you are involved into this. Probably you can turn our thinking and try to make them much better to live a better life than forcing them to come into a civilized world, madam. That's my
So,
humble suggestion.
we are not actually forcing them to come into the civilized world, but we want to educate them since the children are growing up. We want them to look into the outside world, but be inside the forest. I know many people are forcing them out to come out of the forest areas, to come into the world so that they can protect the forest. The department by themselves can protect the forest, but it is not so. They do not want to come out of the forest areas. They have, of course, earlier those days they were given forest lands, but right now, forest department is not unable to give them the forest lands also. So whatever the minimal land they are having, they are finding their own resources. But only thing what I am looking into, they should not come out of the forest, but they should get the benefits from the other people, for their livelihood living, so that uh, they can have their own living in being there inside the forest, growing the crops or collecting the non-timber forest produces, selling them to the people. The only thing is to avoid the middlemen, the brokers. They really cheat them because these people are not that much educated. They do not know not much outside world, so their capacity building has to be developed. They must know the outside world. Only thing, we have to give them a very good training so that they can come up in their life. Like I saw Bosch has come up with that activity in Mylar, and those people, the Kani tribes, that pocket alone, Mylar alone, have come up with a very good package of getting them getting their produce sold online and all that, but still they remain inside the forest. So that sort of activity and all that. So most of the children have done post graduation also, but they do not come outside. So these educated youth, they sell their produce. They use online online training, They got their online training selling their produce. So they be inside the forest doing all these things. They have a good life. So that sort of activity I'm looking into by extending into other areas of Tamil Nadu.
Yeah, I
Not
guess
only in Tamil.
Dr. Ezekiel, what Kumar sir mentioned, I think the essence of what he's saying, the way I
Yeah,
understand is, uh, as we are developing the vision for the work that you're
yeah,
doing, it has to be a shared vision, right?
yeah,
It has to be something that the forest people being the stakeholder, not just in terms of execution and kind of being a beneficiary, but also being a stakeholder in defining what the vision
yeah,
should be, right?
yeah,
I
yeah,
think that's where that's a good starting point, right?
yeah.
For example, what are the non-negotiables for them, and being able to respect that. So I think it was a fantastic presentation, Doctor. It was very eye-opening for me, and this is one subject matter that's been very close to my heart too. So I
My
have a
only
little.
feeling is these people are getting cheated.
No, absolutely, and every hillside stay that I've been in, and that's an observation I've made, and it breaks my heart to do that, and it's also several dimensions, right? You mentioned about a lot of things that are going for a waste, like a jackfruit, things,
Yeah,
resources
yeah,
not being utilized properly, value addition not being
yeah.
considered, and all of that. So how do you suggest, you mentioned AABN,
Yeah.
you invited
If
AABN to
somebody,
support.
if
What,
a CSR activity can be done by
mm,
taking a small area for as a pilot study, if
mm.
AABN can support this, you know,
So when you say AABN support, are you saying, adopt a small area for a pilot study and sponsor it, or kind of be there physically and run
yeah,
the
you
study?
can sponsor, and if you find free time, so that you can support them with the dehydrator and giving them the
Mm,
training, they'll be happy to do all
mm,
these things. But especially pineapples and jackfruits, they grow in abundance. They're
mm,
totally neglected. If you see the avocado, it is being sold for such a huge amount. Like one fruit
mm.
itself costs 150 rupees, somewhere like that. So
Right.
here they grow avocados, but each fruit is just for 20 rupees and 30 rupees. The middleman comes and gets it. So where do
Mm.
they get it? So it is
So
grown.
And,
this is isn't this kind of
one more.
deep rooted and systemic, Dr. Ezekiel? And how can do you think there is enough muscle
There are
power?
enough resources, but these people are getting cheated by the middleman. So we have to collectively do something for these people, so that these people are not cheated. There should be the avoidance of middlemen should not be there. These people who whatever they
Madam,
grow, they have to come up and
madam, I can
market
give
them.
a, no, no, madam,
Yeah.
madam. Hello.
Yes, yes, sir.
Actually, the major problem in middlemen is the financial support they give when there is a non-season, non-producer, seasons. That level of financial assistance, how do you want to get into it? Because in any forest produce or any agriculture produce, most of the support given by the middleman is when they are going to grow from the seedling or the thing, the support. Now you want to you are talking about the final uh, purchase of their produce, all the things. But the crux of the matter is the financial support they needed when there is a non-season or heavy rain season, where they are not able to collect the producers, or when they need emergency funding, all the things. There only the middleman comes. If you want to really process, it should be a banking support.
Some kind of
Uh,
marketing skills maybe
uh,
can be developed.
no, 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 those are the last stage, madam.
So I think some of the ideas that she had presented was, creating revenue streams during produce seasons, right? Whether ecotourism or creating opportunities to sell non-timber related items. So I think creating multiple revenue channels will reduce the dependency, right? So from the middlemen, I think that creates financial independence
Yes.
that can give them enough.
Yeah.
At least they won't be so dependent on the middleman.
Yes.
So I think those are channels that can be made available. But the essence of it, I think, is giving them awareness that there is a demand for these things, and how do we connect the demand to them, right? I think that's where the challenge is. That's what Dr. is talking about, the marketing
Yeah.
support and everything. I
So rather
think
than,
there is
for
an
example,
opportunity.
for
Yeah, go on.
example, see, for the tapioca they are growing, right? These people by themselves, they can take it and deliver it to the sago industry, whereas they are being stopped by the middlemen. They are being stopped by
Madam,
the middlemen because they are
that
getting
is
the loan from them.
no, that is the point I wanted to drive, because the middleman, for
Yeah.
example, it's not just in this place, right? Everywhere it's the same,
Yeah.
ma'am. Just let's take a
Everywhere.
case of
Yeah.
an iPhone. Let's take an iPhone, for example. It is made somewhere in China for 1/5 of the price of the iPhone.
Yeah.
And look at the textiles you are using, all the branded textiles. And if you go to Google and type out that in Bangladesh, they are made at $5. That's all. And
Yeah.
$5 one shirt is made or a skirt is made, and it's sold at $150 outside. It's not just in this model. And if you do that, the middlemen are extremely strong, and it is a business for them. And there's 365 days that they are looking at it. Any volunteers like us, for example, even the AABN people here, all of us decide to do some help and do something like that. But it's not our primary job. Everybody is busy on so many things. We have people with a good heart. They want to do something good and betterment. They try to do something, but they can't spend beyond a few hours in a week or a month on this issue. And that is where the issue is. They are fighting with somebody who's got a professional. A middleman is for them is a professional job. 24 hours by 7 days, they're working on that to make money out of it. Against it, there are volunteers who are fighting against it. It doesn't. That is why the fight against middlemen all over the world is failing, and people do not understand it. Having a good thought, having a charitable mindset does not help fighting the evil of the middleman. It doesn't work like that. That is why the whole concept of modifying the entire approach is critical. Because fundamentally, if you look at the same issue with America and Mexico for the drug issue, instead of attacking the fundamental issue of drug issue, America is just spending money more and more on creating law enforcement to attack it. Actually, more law enforcement, more thing comes up. It's proven again and again that in order to do this, a fundamental approach has to change. And someone like you, with so much of knowledge and understanding, better than any of us here, if you come up with, I'm happy to support that way, but not from a volunteering perspective, but definitely to create a fundamental change in a foundational aspect of the whole model. Then that's the only way we can change it, ma'am. That's my opinion, because middlemen are very strong to fight against them.
Yeah. Yeah. I know that.
I
Can I
take a
come
minute,
into?
I take a minute. It was a wonderful presentation, the views of Mr. Kumar, all. But one fundamental thing is not all tribals, as you think, especially in Northeast, are, standing with spears, and, it is the classification as a tribal is also very important. And you know that in places like Meghalaya, why I say this, I used to be part of a group which is into cement, into plywood, which is the biggest plywood in the seven this thing. So it is not so much that what Mr. Kumar said. Yes, I agree. The tribal people are not as you think that they want to be. There are so many who are educated, and you will not believe that you will not get subsidy to put plant in the backward areas if you don't have so many shareholders in your books as a tribal member, and also as a director in, and those are people also, you can call them middlemen within the tribal community, who enjoy the fruits of it is again the same strata that we have in our country, that it goes into the tribal population. So it is the classification of whether the meritorious financial status derive them from that particular this thing or not is the fundamental question from my, because personally I have seen, I used to handle the tribal who is a shareholder who just gets the money and he has nothing to do with whether the cement factory is running or whether the plywood factory is running. It is that sometimes we go and take this signature from them. So it is important that classification is also attended to it before we get it. But overall, Claribel, excellent presentation. Thanks.
Thank you.
Sir,
Thank you.
sir, let me
Nirmala
intervene.
Kumari. Yes, sir.
Good
Yes,
morning.
sir. Go on, sir. Go on, sir. Go on, sir. Suresh, sir, go on.
Good morning. Good morning. It's a very nice topic when Dr. Claribel was telling about it. Two things I want to suggest. One is we are also extensively working in Indian level tribal at various parts of the country, but every tribal has got their own culture and practices. Whereas if you take, as rightly Malik sir was saying, Northeast is totally different. I attended one of their, I don't know how many of you know about it, the Hornbill Festival is there. It happens now, I think December 5th it is coming, 5th to 8th. It's in Nagaland, Manipur border. Around 37 various tribes of Northeast, they'll participate. And then they'll showcase their cultural activities, and then they'll have a model of their houses, their food, what they consume, how they hunt, how they preserve. So these actually I thought they are living over there, but actually to my surprise when I looked at it, the participants came in fantastic jeans and t-shirts with a mobile phone they had, change their dress, get into that tribal dress, and then perform so nicely as if nobody can say that they are modernized. And then after that, they change. They have the photographs next time I can show it over it. So they went. I had an extensive interview. In fact, we worked in promoting education over there. The way how we did it, they are interested in football. Football is their life. So we made football teams. And then we never disturbed their life, normal life. We left them as it is. But what they feel is we are also, slowly, there is a big digital divide. Now the Aadhaar card has come and this is come. Everybody is supposed to have it. They are also the citizens of the country. But they should know what is Aadhaar card, what are the government schemes are available for us, how to take it up over. So the digital divide is a big problem. Now they feel, so many of the things, those who are digitally advanced, they are moving forward. And we have been completely neglected and we are behind it, and then we are struggling. So we want our children to educate, not because they want to get jobs or something like that, but at least to understand what is happening around us so that we can make our life to understand and upgrade our upliftment should happen. So this is thing is happening. So if possible, I have a student who is a medical doctor. He's from tribe between Gujarat and Maharashtra border. He is from Nambur part, that is tribal belt, and he's from the tribal area, and he raised to a level of a global level, and he served with WHO also. And what we both have done together in Northeast, we have introduced locally available vehicles or cycles or motorcycle, whatever it may be, to have like ambulances to reach the nearest health post in case of an emergency or anything. And one thing he pointed out, we may say they are living, they are happy. This is the idea you are getting it over there. But when pandemic comes, when COVID comes, COVID will not look at it. Tribals are happy, living happily, so we will not live it over there. So they will also be vulnerable to that. So they should also be educated and made to understand that they are facing the latest development consequences and impact. It may have an impact on both. So now see the forest over there in Western Ghats. That's one of the best in the world, and best means best. But slowly that the deforestation happening, the tea gardens have come. That's the reason why we are getting this unusual rains and disturbance. So what they say, of course, we want to live our own life and we don't want to get disturbed. But to one place, I don't want to mention the names, become controversial. Many places now earlier there were 300 acres, they have come down to 105 acres or something like that. So the lands also, the deforestation is happening. They are also losing their lands now. More than middlemen, so what they are facing is what will be the future of our children. So today, at least we can struggle, we can do something. So we want our children to be educated. We do not come to Chennai or urbanization. They can live anywhere. At least education has to be given. That's one thing they want. Number two, the available resources, whatever at this point, available resources, like ecotourism she was telling about. where we can, suggest through our social media that these are the places available. So if you get to the place near Kokanekal, in and around there, a lot of tribal people are now using the parcel over there. And the self-help groups have been formed and banks are providing loans to that. So slowly, we cannot do it immediately, keeping your hand on a hot food and then you get burnt. Slowly, one by what we can do is we can take one small area, do a pilot study, we can have a study, and then we understand and we can tie up with the Farm Graduate Forum is there. I'm also a trust member of them. And they are helping them now recently in Purulia, tribal belt near West Bengal. A team went and then they guided them how to do a scientific millet production compared to the traditional thing, which is slowly changing now. So that was accepted now. The district collector was Tamilian. So she invited and then we went there. And 4 days they stayed with the support of NABARD and then they guided them, came back. Now slowly they are understanding and they are asking how to take it further. And then the collector is providing links for loans and then they are taking loans and they are buying the cattle and things like that. And slowly they are developing. So it will not happen one day. It will take years and years and maybe decades and decades also. But somewhere it has to be started. So if possible, next week I'll try to invite my student, Dr. Ullas Wasabi, who is a tribe. Now he is a medical doctor and he has climbed to a level of, elimination of oncology, cancer research. And he is having a Euro-Asian cancer research in Mumbai. And he is now heading AmeriCare, an emergency operation center of American NGO, and he's heading that in Bombay. He is highly qualified. And what he's saying over there, I want my people to be educated. I don't want them to come to town and take up that and all that. But they should know what is happening around. That's the first thing I'm doing. Second thing is health. He is operating medical camps using the mobile clinic, using the mobile clinic. So now L&T is supporting that, especially Lonavala and Kandala areas, tribal belts. So they are connecting. And Nandurbar is having a hospital exclusively for the tribe. And using the traditional methods only, he is combined, even though he's a English medicine doctor. But he respects Ayush and Indian medicine also. Third one is he is trying to improvise with it. Another student is there, he is working with digitalization of the thing. So these ambulances are going to be equipped with the support of ISRO with equipment that while a pregnant lady is brought from 30-40 kilometers, it will take minimum 2 to 3 hours. So at the time of taking the condition of a patient or the mother or the pregnant mother, this data will be continuously being sent to the hospital using the telemedicine, where the hospital in the nearest taluk or block or wherever it may be, they will be getting, so that by the time the patient reaches, so that they can start the treatment rather than wasting time in diagnosing again. There are small things my students are doing, and they are trying it over. So every time it is a trial and error. So it's nothing it cannot be happening. It can happen, but it will take a long time. Somewhere we can start about it. If possible, I'll try to connect him next week so that it could be a continuous. This week you can ask more questions about their lifestyle, their problem, because he has extensively traveled in Africa, in South America, and in India, entire area. And we have been working with upliftment of tribals in the health and education sector in Northeast. And somewhere we have succeeded, and still we have to go a long way, but somewhere it's happened. So let me check if it's available next week. I'll introduce him, so you can ask their day-to-day life. Practically, you can explain on how this education and this support will be very useful for you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
So I have invited Dr. Kadiresan, who was Annamalai University Dean for
please.
mangrove marine biology. He's there in the forum.
Yeah,
Sir, can you come?
Yes, sir. Go on, sir.
So, with the permission of Gobi,
no problem. Go on, sir.
Being an honorary professor of Annamalai University, I'm extremely proud of you all, because Annamalayans are always great, and you are really great. I'm really impressed with this session. And the Claribel, she met with an accident, last couple of weeks back during her project work. And she is almost bedridden. But from the bed, she was talking so much. really we appreciate her enthusiasm, dedication, devotion towards the community service. Sir, in the Madhya Pradesh, what is happening? Very recently, I visited Madhya Pradesh, where a tribal people are very much affected by the fluorosis, the lot of stain on the teeth. No? But nobody was bothering. But one educated lady visited the site and identified that the fluoride in the water is responsible for the problem. Then she identified and rectified the problem. Like that, a scientific approach is necessary. See, the disease problem. Claribel can go for the disease problem, if any, with the tribal people. We can provide some scientific solutions to them. And of course, your talk is purely based on their requirement, based on their necessity and their requirement. It's an excellent speech Claribel has given. And the interaction is something remarkable and wonderful because Annamalaians are always great. Anything and everything, they are number one. Wish you all the best, all the success. I can deliver a talk in future.
Sir
Sure, sir.
can give a
Thank
talk
you.
on climate change,
Yeah,
carbon
I,
sequestration.
I already had a discussion with him, Claribel.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. I
That's
was traveling abroad next week.
yeah.
So once
Yes,
he's back,
not away.
Anyone else?
The whole idea is to focus only what the speaker is saying in Tamil Nadu context and the criteria which he is mentioning. Those things can be more focused discussion can be there, like online support of selling their produce or make bank to support them in need of the money. Because the middlemen, we are all throwing blame on middlemen. The middleman is part of the community. We cannot avoid the middleman. Only things we can minimize their dependence on the middleman. Those things
Yeah.
a little more the group can discuss and maybe like social CSR fund they can support for some NGOs to give them the skill or give them support for marketing of things.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking into, some kind of a CSR activity and some kind of a capacity building support for them so that whatever they produce can be sold directly to the public. That's what I'm looking into because they can have their, to at least to a certain extent, a good sustainable livelihood, not to what what we are like, but at least to some extent they can do it,
Yeah.
just like
Can we
the Mylar people,
have Mangai speak a few words? Mangai is still there? Mangai, can you please unmute and say a few words?
Hello.
Yeah,
Good
please go on.
morning. This is Haripriya. Uh, nice presentation, Claribel. The thing is, like, people are very much interested in bringing their foundation study where you are looking into right now how the livelihood has or can be improvised. That is what you are looking into from your presentation. I can feel that. So since you said like middlemen are taking, you can approach NAFED where they form FPOs. Like you can appoint one of your, any tribal, whoever has been educated, they can form an FPO. They collect all the produce and then give. If you're thinking that everything can be sold directly from there, like you talking about D2C, which is not possible at this moment. Like they cannot sell everything directly to the customers. Probably they can give to the FPOs where government can take it from them at a good rate and can be given to the public. one thing that can be done. Otherwise, some people totally we cannot avoid the middleman. A middleman who is literally what do you say, who can be ethical or whoever it is, a kind of a community or a committee you can form, which can be the produce can be sold through them. Instead of giving everyone the digital awareness or whatever the education immediately, is not possible to sell it on Amazon or Flipkart or anything of that kind. But a committee can take it. Those educated tribals can form a committee and then take it further. This is one of my suggestion. Like since you were saying pepper and other thing, they need to do this shortex of the paper. Then, as you say, they can sell it at a good rate. What they might be having is a bulk, okay, without grading. So grading plays a vital role. That's why these are all, we call it as a value-added services. That is why it is costing so much. That is why the middleman is also selling at a very high price. Those activities can be given to them and taken further.
Ma'am, 1 minute,
That's what.
ma'am. Like the
Yeah.
pepper, whatever they grow is organic. Firstly, I think the organic certification is necessary for their produce. That has to be gotten. Secondly, once the middleman takes the pepper from them, they extract the oil. Pepperin is being extracted from the produce, and whatever we get on the stores are the oilless pepper, but whatever they sell is a pepper which is purely with the oil content, which is
Yes,
more.
I work closely with the Kolimalai people in that regard.
Okay.
That's why I'm saying. So
Yeah.
once it comes down, the alteration takes
Yes.
place.
Yes.
So if they know to segregate, grade it, sort it, and
Mm.
then it can be sold directly. That has to be given at the top of the hill itself instead of we bring it down and then do all that kind. Adulteration, like everybody does it. Like we cannot say it's bad, don't do all that. We cannot go give what do you say lectures on those lines. So
Yeah.
for that, like we can ask them to segregate there and then give it package and then
Yeah.
sell it as a thing like as
Yeah.
a bulk, because
Yeah.
everybody would be having very little quantity, so
Yeah.
they cannot sell it. So collectively somebody has to from their
They
group
must
community
form some
itself.
kind of a cluster where two or
Yeah,
three,
committee,
groups can. Yeah.
true. Yes.
Two or three people form, they can form clusters. Two or three villages, I mean, they can form clusters. They can have a good packaging and sell it on Amazon also. That's what they wanted. So like
Yeah.
Mylar is doing a good job with the help of Bosch. So I couldn't get in touch with Bosch. After that, I met with an accident, so I was not able to get in touch with them. So I'm also looking into opportunities where people, can support with CSR activities like Bosch.
Okay. So
Subulakshmi, would you like to add a
AABN,
few
like we
words?
can, no, we can take agricultural marketing service. We can form a committee. For that, we can do it instead of for I mean CSR service. A lot of money is involved at present.
Yeah.
Probably in a small thing we can take it up a agricultural marketing service and do it.
Yeah.
That would be possible immediately.
Okay.
Subulakshmi, would you like to add a few words?
Uh, Sir, good morning for all. I was not able to join the session due to power cut in my area, sir. So just now I have been able to join. So I was just hearing what all has been happening, sir. Actually, our president Krishnamurthy sir was in the session from the beginning, so I can
Yeah.
get the input from him.
I think he's still there. Mr. Krishnamurthy is still around.
Yes, yes.
Yes, he's still around. Mr. Krishnamurthy, would you like to unmute and say a few words?
Yes, sir. We are. Hello. Good morning, all.
Yes, sir.
Hearing is.
So we lost you.
No, no, no. I think it is okay, sir. So,
Yes, sir. Go on, sir.
This is Krishnamurthy. We are looking for ways and including this environment. We have promoted one within the basic
The voice is cracking, sir. We're
sir.
not able to hear you. We're not able to hear you continuously.
Oh, sir, this is Krishnamurthy,
Yes, sir.
Indian NGO.
Yeah.
Our organization is undertaking the land rejuvenation activities jointly with Panchayat, sir. The land wasted due to the quarrying activities is undertaken by us, and we have planted trees, native trees, and the water used is the same quarry water, wasted water. We are also using the solar power, and the distribution is introduced, sir. So we have planted 1,330 trees in Devariambagam village, sir. Like that, we are promoting the revitalization activities in areas nearby, sir, in Kanjur.
Yeah. Nirmala Kumari, madam, would you like to say something? Would you like to say a few words?
Sir, good morning, sir. First of all, I congratulate Clary Madam for a nice presentation and nice thought-provoking materials. Sir, my thing is, what Kumar sir was telling, no, we have to respect their presence and their lifestyle and everything. But one thing, for our national improvement, tribals are also inclusive. So, if we want to isolate them, it is a problem. And we are invading into the forest for some sort of making a dam or oil and gas, whatever may be the thing. Anyhow, we are interfering with their life. In that case, we need to include them also in the development. But one thing I differ from what the presenter was telling, most of the time it is mutual, either for skill transfer or the knowledge transfer, even the medicinal thing. So we are telling that we need to give the medicinal help for them. Maybe in the extreme cases, but they are having a good knowledge of herbal medicines. So we have to get the knowledge from them as well as we have to give knowledge. So most of the time, we are also trainees from the tribals. So it should be a mutual thing. We have to understand what they are doing, and we have to respect them and get knowledge and skill from them also. Anyhow, the nation improvement is always inclusive of the tribals. Um, and we may be knowing inbreeding actually is a problem for the tribal development. So we want to interfere with them for a better lifestyle, life coverage, and education. So we need to give them education also. It may be a conventional one or the modern one, whatever may be the thing. We should be we should have empathy for their development. So we have to understand them, understand their position, and since we are invading to their place, we need to take their health, nutrition, education, and everything. So sometime or another, we need to give some of our effort to help, and as well as to get knowledge from them, and as well as we have to give our effort for their improvement. So this is what I want to say, especially when Kumar sir was telling. I want to know from him how we can include the tribal improvement in our nations. If we are not able to give, or if we are not able to give them some of our input in way of education or in way of medical help or in way of cleanliness, whatever may be the thing, and to avoid inbreeding also. How to take care of their benefit or their improvement. So this is what I want to ask Rim Kumar and give some of my thoughts to you. Thank you, sir.
Ma'am, I would like to include one more thing. I was doing my MPhil and PhD in collecting the first-hand information of the medicinal plants from the Irula tribe of Tamil Nadu and its neighborhood. I collected around 800 new informations from them. Getting medicinal information from them, the medicinal use of plants is very difficult. Of late, I have noticed that only the elders, old people around 70 or 80s, people who are still there, they have a wide knowledge of the medicinal plants. Of late, the youth, they have lost their, they have not carried it from their grandfathers or fathers who know more about the medicinal plants. Actually, they have lost it. And Madras Christian College have documented uh, uh, the medicinal uses of Malayari tribe, and me doing with the Irula tribe, we have documented almost all the plants which are being used by the tribes. So likewise, getting the information, and this has to be scientifically taken up for further studies, the medicinal uses, where whether whatever they are using as a whole plant, whether when the compound is isolated, whether it is giving the same kind of effect on the disease. All this needs to be further studied, because there are quite a lot of new information that we have collected and kept it. This is what
Yes, madam. It is very important. That's what I'm telling. It should be mutual. So
Yeah,
most of the time we are thinking we are improving the tribals. It is not so.
yeah,
We are helping them to improve, and as well as we are taking some
yeah.
feedback from them for our improvement also. So it should be
Getting
mutual.
one,
So we have to keep that thought in our mind. We are not
yes,
anyway dominant over them.
yes,
So we have to go with the null hypothesis, and we have to learn from them and try
yes.
to give our knowledge also to them. That
In
should be
some
our thing.
areas, they are very helpful, but in most of the areas, they are. I have to, literally slog and wait for their consentment, and get their consent to take me up to the forest areas to collect the medicinal plant. Very difficult to come up
Yes, madam.
to get
Yes, yes.
one plant from them. So once they gain the confidence, they come out. But till then, I have to really, I had to slog.
Yes,
No,
madam. I have
also this.
also traveled a lot
Yeah.
in the tribal area for especially for the millet improvement and the
Oh,
integrated farming.
okay.
But there I have learned a lot from them. It is not only the technologies, but
Yeah.
also the points for living, humanity, and everything. I learned a lot
Yes.
from them. So
Yes.
really, I appreciate those people, and really they are our ancestor like material, and we have to learn more than what we
Yes.
are giving to them.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, madam. Thank you. Thank you.
No,
Thank you.
no, actually, that the health point also we are talking about. See, they have their own medical system. That was okay, but every day new diseases are coming up. See, now if you compare with maternal child health, a lot of newborn baby health is affected in the tribal areas as per the government statistics because of lack of health services. So that is where we have to intervene. So we need not every time go and ask them for ordinary diseases, but anything complicated which cannot be treated by the traditional method, so we can provide, they can come over. Otherwise, it is their own system of medical system. In fact, we learn a lot of things from them for day-to-day ailments of normal ailments. We take some herbs from them, and then we take tea out of it and take it. But the complicated things like maternal child health are kind of a disability areas where maybe strokes are very common some place over there. So they have to depend on some modern system. So that should be, as rightly said, that should be a mutual, neutral understanding of wherever it is required, we can support them for their upliftment. That is what the point is of. Thank you.
Rajendra, NSM, sir. Rajendra, would you like to add a few words? Or NSM, sir? Anyone else? We're done. I think we are done, Claribel.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dr. Claribel.
Yeah.
Said, yeah, but this has really sensitized me to actually look up into these kind of things, and definitely I mean, respecting the folks, the tribal folks, and their basic well-being, plus the health issues as they come up seasonally or through the um, uh, poorer nutrition due to whatever the reasons. All these things definitely require to be addressed, and plus they shouldn't be definitely cheated. I mean, that part I really uh, I mean, understand. So overall, very good actually session. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Claribel. Thank you very much for
you.
taking time out on Sunday morning to be with us, and most importantly, with all the difficult situation that you are in today. Wishing you a very speedy recovery on behalf of AABN.
Thank
We'll,
you. Thank you,
we'll
sir.
stay connected. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you very much.